Hey guys and girls, how's it going? Teacher Computing here. Sorry it's been a while since I have posted a video. It's exam season, so it's been quite busy. Lots of things going on. I'm also on a bit of a new fitness kick, so I haven't had as much time, so I do apologise for that. Today I'm going to be talking to you about class variables and instance variables and how these differ. So up until now you've probably mostly used instance variables. So for example, imagine you've got a game and in that game you've got an enemy and you've set that enemy to have a weakness. So that would be self.weakness. You might set that to say 5. You might then have another enemy, say a dragon, and that weakness might be 12. So these are instance variables. They're unique to each item, and there's also a thing called class variables, and a class variable is like a shared like a global variable really, but within the class. So I'm going to show you how to create one of these today, how they work, and hopefully make it a little bit clearer for you, because I know a couple of my students have been a little bit confused by this, so I thought I'd just clear things up. So we're going to start. We've got two files. We've got main.py, which is going to be our main program, and apple.py, which is going to represent an eating apple. And this is where we're going to create the apple class. So I'm going to switch over to presentation mode, creating a class. I'm going to call it apple. And we are going to create the constructor, which is going to be def score in itself. Okay, and then we're going to create a instance variable of, let's do self.color, and we're going to set that equal to green. Whoa. Okay, so we've got an instance variable of green, and we're going to create a method, and our first method is going to be pick, so picking an apple. So this is where we're going to need a class variable that all instantiated objects can see. So we're going to call out class variable picked. I'm going to set that initially to 0, and then we're going to create a method, and a method's going to be to pick an apple off, say, off an imaginary tree. So we're going to define picked. Let's call it pick, P-I-C, pick, and we'll set that to self. Oh, it's one of those days. Okay, self, and let's do apple dot picked. And then we will have plus equals 1. Okay, and then we're going to have another method which is just going to be def get status, and that's going to be self. Okay, and all this is going to do is just check what's actually been picked. So we've got a string there, and then we're saying apple dot picked, and we want to concatenate, so we want plus, and then we'll there we go. So what we've got is we've got our class of apple. We've set our class variable as picked equals 0. Created the constructor, so you can see that the class variables go outside the constructor. We've got a instance variable of self.color equal green. We've got two methods. We've got one to pick an apple and one to tell us how many apples have been picked. I'm going to obviously put some comments in here just to make sure my code is nice and robust. Okay, so I've added in some comments there just to make it, I'll try and make it a bit clearer for you. So you can see here that this is a class variable shared between all objects of the class apple. This is an instance variable. Okay, different copy is stored once per object, so you could have red apples or green apples. Okay, this is how we refer to a class variable. So I'm just doing class name.var name, so just got apple.picked. So referring to picked up here. Okay, let's get on and create the main program where we're going to actually use this class and show you how the not the instant variables, but how the class variable of picked works. Okay, so this is gonna be quite quick. So the first thing I'm gonna do is do from Apple. So this is the Apple file where we created the class. We're gonna import the class we want to use, and the class we want to use is the Apple class, which I titled with a capital A. And then what we're going to do is we're going to instantiate some objects. So we're going to create 10 apples. So let's do that now. And we can do that just by going apple1 equals apple. Okay, like that. So we'll do 10 of those. There we go, just like magic. So we've got apple1 to 10. We're then going to get apple1. We're going to use apple1 and ask apple1 how many apples has been picked off the tree. So we're just going to go apple1 and we're going to ask it get status. So we're using that method that we've made. And so if we run this now, apple1 should be able to tell us how many apples have been picked by looking at the class variable. So let's see, run main, and you can see 0 apples have been picked. So that's great. So let's check our second method, which is our pick method. So we'll get apple5. Let's use apple5 to pick an apple. Okay, so we've got apple5 to pick something, and then let's ask apple8. Or we could ask apple 6, 7, it doesn't really matter. So let's just pick apple. Let's pick apple 9. Apple 9 is going to tell us how many have been picked. So we should get 0 and then we should get 1. So let's run it and see. So yeah, here we go. So 0 apples have been picked, 1 apple has been picked. So that to me shows me that each of these instantiated objects can see our global class variable. I call it a global class variable because it's not a global class variable, it's just a class variable. But the concept of global meaning that all the objects can see it. So that's just how it's stuck in my head, but I always refer to it as a class variable. Obviously the color that we created is an instance variable, so apple1 could be red, apple2 could be blue, apple3 and so on, and we would specify that when we actually instantiate the object, and we could pass that in. So that's it. I hope it's been useful. I hope that makes sense. I'll put some comments in here just so you've got an idea of what's going on. Okay, so there we go. So just a recap of what we've done. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. Like I say, we're going to get some more videos out to you ASAP. So the next one's coming up is going to be some 3D printing stuff. I've been doing some 3D printing of some Star Wars miniature models to go with some of the games and to support some Warhammer stuff. So do come back and check that out. Please, again, like, subscribe and share, and comment below if there's anything specific you want help with, any videos you'd like to see. Yeah, thanks a lot. Bye guys.